It's no secret that I am a huge fan of landing pages, which are simple one-page websites that you can use to build your business. And since a lot of direct sellers already use Project Broadcast, which started out as primarily a text messaging app, I was so thrilled when Project Broadcast added in landing pages functionality. Now, there are a lot of fun things that you can add to a Project Broadcast landing page, but one of my favorites is to include a Canva design. And no, I'm not talking about simply creating a design in Canva, downloading it as an image, and then uploading it to your PBLP, though of course you can do that. I'm talking about embedding your design. Embedding means just adding a little code to your page that lets the viewer see the design in real time. So right here is an example of an embedded design that lets the viewer tap through it as sort of a slideshow. Let's talk about why you want to include embedded Canva designs in your PBLPs, and then the steps you can take to make it happen. So why is an embedded Canva design such a great option? Reason number one is interactivity and streamlined content. As you saw, you can use a multi-page Canva design to act as sort of a slideshow for your viewer to click through. This means you can offer some additional content that they have the option to peruse if they wish, without at the same time adding vertical bulk to your page. Plus, it gives the viewer a chance to interact with your page in a new and more active way. Reason number two is accessibility. Unlike a graphic, the text that is in your embedded Canva design is readable. For instance, if a viewer of your page is visually impaired and they use certain tools to help them navigate your website, they will be able to read the text that is in an embedded Canva design, whereas they might not necessarily be able to read the text that is just contained on a JPEG or PNG image. Of course, you can add alt text to your still images where you can add in the text and make sure that they can see what it says, but I do think that this is a nice plus of an embedded design. The third reason is flexibility. The viewer can click to open the Canva design full screen, making it easier for them to read. The next reason is a big one, and it has to do with your video content on a PBLP. Embedded Canva designs are a great place to add some video content to your page. I see people who create some really great vertical videos that they want to add to their page, but they run into a problem. The content block on your PBLP that supports a video block needs that video to live on either Vimeo or on YouTube, and those are primarily horizontal platforms. An easy solution is to create a Canva design with the exact dimensions you want. Upload your video to Canva, pop your video into the design, add any other elements you want around it, and embed that design on your PBLP. And then boom, your video is now viewable on your page and it looks nice and clean. One caveat here is that this can be a little bit buggy if you use the exact embed code that Canva gives to you, but I have a tweak I'm going to show you, so stay tuned for that. Another reason I love embedded Canva designs, even if it's a simple one-page design, is easy updating. Let's say you have certain content that you want to use across multiple landing pages, but you need to update it from time to time. And it can be a pain if you're working with, say, a JPEG image, it can be a pain to go into every one of those instances, every one of those pages, and upload a new image on a regular basis. Well, when you have an embedded design, that original design lives in one place. It lives in Canva. And so if you update it in that one place, you just update your Canva design, then all of a sudden, every time it's embedded across multiple pages, all of those are going to be updated in real time. Another reason you might want to embed from Canva is to reuse content you've already created. So inside my SparkHub program, I have a lot of people who came from my original program of Direct Sales on Demand, where I taught how to create a Canva website to present your content. And this was before Project Broadcast landing pages existed and before SparkHub existed to help you automate a lot of your content through the use of code blocks. So that's why I've shifted to PBLPs, but a lot of people say, well, I have this great Canva design, I hate to abandon it. And I tell them, don't worry, you don't have to. If you have a Canva design you love, but you want to take advantage of all the plus side of a PBLP, like being able to automate it using SparkHub, you can have the best of both worlds. You can simply embed your multi-page Canva design on your PBLP, let people enjoy that great content, and still take advantage of the PBLP benefits. Now that we've covered the why, let's look at the simple process of how to embed your Canva design. Now, I'm going to be talking about the example of a multi-page design that you want to embed as something people can kind of tap through or click through. But of course, you can do the same thing with a simple one-page design where people just get to basically view it right there on your page. Step 1, prepare your design to guide the viewer. If your design does have multiple pages, then I think it's a good idea to make it very obvious to the viewer that they can swipe or tap to explore the slides or pages of your design. You could, of course, do this just in a text block outside of your design, but I like having it right there on page 1 of the design itself. You can go to the first page of your Canva design and just add an arrow and a text prompt so they know to tap or swipe to navigate the pages. Step 2 is to get the embed code. It's very easy to find your embed code in Canva. So here I am in my design in Canva, and if you click on share, then you may need to find the more section in order to see the embed option. Now here under the share options, one of them says embed, and you can see this little icon here that represents HTML code. When you click on that, it gives you 2 options, a smart embed link that works on just certain platforms, or the HTML embed code. This is the one you want. You want the embed code, not the link. So just click copy on that, and now you have your code. Step number 3 is to add that code into a code block. So right now I'm in the design screen of my Project Broadcast landing page, and under my different content options, I'm going to select HTML. Wiggle, wiggle, it's ready to go. And then I pull it in here, and I generally like to make these full width. Although if you want it to take up just one of multiple columns going across, you can play around with that. And you can always just preview how that's going to look on desktop and on mobile and make sure it looks nice. So now I have my code block in here. By default, it just says hello world. So I can get rid of that. And in this HTML section, I paste in my code. Now you'll notice one thing about this is that it is actually treating this as if my design is a video. It's wanting to play through a 30-second video that's going to go through each slide automatically, which is not usually what you want. And so this trips up some people. So how do I make sure that it's not going to autoplay and instead people can tap through each slide? That's our next step. Step 4 is to edit the code if needed. So I'm going to come over here into my code, and I'm going to make a couple of small changes. And so when Canva gave me this code, it was trying to be helpful and give me a form of the code that would automatically play through the pages, but I can override that. So over here, you can see the source of what it's providing is this long and ugly URL. And if I come over here, I see the word watch right before a question mark. We don't want watch. Instead, we want view. So I'm just going to type in the word view. And magically, it has given me 6 slides. So the viewer will be able to tap through them on their own. So that's just a little hack to help you out there. The other thing I want to change is I don't love having at the bottom here, like the name of my design and by Julie Godshall. You can have it if you want. If you don't want it, then all you have to do is everything after this /div here that you see is optional. So what I have highlighted here is the code that you actually need to display your design. But then we have this bracket A href section. All of that I think is just optional. That represents that little footer that goes underneath your design. In my opinion, you can just delete that if you want to, and I think it just gives it kind of a cleaner look. Your final step is always a good idea, and that is to test it out. Don't just look at it here on your design screen. You always need to save so that it can close out, and then grab the URL here. You can either highlight it here or just tap here to copy it, and then open it up.
see how it's going to look in real life, because you can't always tell when you're in the design screen. You can't always tell with this preview down here. That doesn't always work. If you have some code on your page that can't run in this kind of preview form, that really doesn't matter. What matters is if you open up your page in real life, how does it look? Can the person click play to view what's on a page? Can they tap through to see those other pages? And just make sure that everything looks great.
And that's it. I hope this inspires you to add some interactivity and creativity and flexibility to your project broadcast landing pages by embedding some Canva designs. So please be sure to like this video and share it out with a friend who you think would love this idea. I'll see you next time.